Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpataruvyaschа kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Okay, we welcome all of you to our weekly Krishna book classes. Especially today is a very, very auspicious day. It is the appearance day of Sri Advaita Acharya. He is, of course, one of the members of the Pancha Tattva. And Advaita Acharya is the combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. So Advaita Acharya, he worshipped the Lord on the banks of the river Ganges with some tulsi leaves and Ganges water. He worshipped the Shaligram Shila and he facilitated, he prayed for the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And because of his prayers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on this planet, and therefore we got he freely distributed a love of Krishna, and we got this mercy from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So today is a very, very auspicious day. As I said, the appearance day of Advaita Acharya. And on this day, Vaishnavas, we fast till 12 noon. Okay, so we have with us here Aja, Deepa Vijay Kumar, Divina, Durga Prasad, Karuna, Lavina. Then we have Lavina Dadlani, Manju Nihalani, Meenakshi, Auntie Neeta is there, Priyanka Jha, Ritu Lalwani, Shailesh Latkar, Shantaram Latkar, Sheetal Latkar, Shivani, Shreya Kalaria. We have Shri Radhe Hari Devi Dasi Mataji. We have Swapna Latkar, Upasna Dalai. We have Swami. We have Venkat, Vivansh, and Wendy. Okay. So, what did we see in the previous class? Nobody remembers?
It was about the gopis wanting, not satisfied with Krishna Leela, is it?
Yes, very nice. Thank you, Deepa. So we were saying how the gopis were not satisfied and they wanted to have more and more association of Krishna. So therefore, they are singing songs of separation from Krishna during the daytime, because Rasa Leela we saw previously was during the night time, but they want more and more association. And Krishna during the daytime, he goes to the forest with the cows, and therefore they are feeling separation from Krishna. So they are singing songs of separation from Krishna. And what Gita was that we saw?
Gopi Gita.
Not Gopi Gita. Gopi Gita is songs of separation during the Rasa Leela, when Krishna leaves them in the middle of the
Yugala
Rasa
Gita.
Leela. Yugala Leela, yes. Yugala Leela is the song of separation during the daytime when Krishna goes to the forest. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. So today, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we will be seeing Krishna book, chapter number 36, titled Kaṁsa sends Akrūra for Krishna. So now slowly, Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes are wrapping up, and very soon we will be moving from Vrindavan to Mathura. No? So these are the last few chapters of Vrindavan Leela. And Akrūra is that personality who Kaṁsa sends to Vrindavan to bring Krishna to Mathura so that Kaṁsa can kill him. So that is Kaṁsa's plan, to bring Krishna to Mathura and to kill him. What does the word Akrūra mean? Akrūra.
Cruel. Cruel.
Akrūra. Akrūra means cruel.
Akrūra means, yeah, it's, yeah.
Akrūra means?
Who is not cruel?
Yeah, not cruel. Yes. Krura means cruel. Akrūra means not cruel. So actually, Akrūra is a devotee of Krishna. And we will see how he's so much more special. Not in today's class, but later we will see. And the gopis, but because he came to take Krishna away from them, the gopis tell him that your name is Akrūra, not cruel, but why are you doing something so cruel of taking Krishna away from us? No? So Akrūra is a pure devotee. He's actually Krishna's paternal uncle. And he's a very, very prominent personality in the Yadu dynasty, very, very respected personality in the Yadu dynasty, very senior, very superior. And he was in Mathura. And although Kaṁsa sent him to bring Krishna because Kaṁsa wants to kill him, still Akrūra said, I will do my duty, I will bring Krishna. Because anyway, Akrūra is thinking in his mind that anyway now Kaṁsa is going to die. No? So he knows that Kaṁsa is not going to succeed in his plans. Okay, anyway, let's start with this particular chapter. Vrindavan was always absorbed in the thought of Krishna. Everyone remembered his pastimes and was constantly merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss. But the material world is so contaminated that even in Vrindavan, the asuras or demons tried to disturb the peaceful situation. Once a demon named Arishtasura entered the village in the form of a great bull with a gigantic body and huge horns, digging up the earth with his hooves. When the demon entered Vrindavan, the whole land appeared to tremble as if there were an earthquake. He roared fiercely, and after digging up the earth on the riverside, he entered the village proper. The fearful roaring of the bull was so piercing that some of the pregnant cows and women had miscarriages. Its body was so big, stout, and strong that a cloud hovered over its body, just as clouds hover over mountains. Aristasura entered Vrindavan with such a fearful appearance that just on seeing this great demon, all the men and women were afflicted with great fear, and the cows and other animals fled the village. So here Kamsa has sent yet another demon to kill Krishna, and this time the demon he has taken the form of a bull, and his name is Arishtasura, and he's so huge that his hump is touching the clouds. No, so you can imagine how huge and big his gigantic body is. And it is described that when he raised his tail, all the clouds would be scattered in the sky. He would be disturbing the clouds in the sky. It is also described that just by passing a little bit of urine, he would create rivers, and by his tool he was creating mountains, no, so that how huge and fearful he was. And it's written here how when he walked, the earth the earth started to tremble, the earth moved, the mountains were trembling, the earth was moving, the clouds were agitated by the sound of his feet also. And it is described that Jiva Goswami explains in his Gopal Champa that even the moon became distorted because of Arishtasura's arrival. Okay, and it also caused miscarriages, no? It was so fearful, his appearance, that when he appeared, the pregnant cows and the pregnant gopis, they suffered from miscarriages. The situation became very terrible, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan began to cry, Krishna, Krishna, please save us. Krishna saw that the cows were running away, and he immediately replied, Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. He then appeared before Arishtasura and said, The lowest of living entities, why are you frightening the inhabitants of Gokul? What will you gain by this action? If you have come to challenge my authority, then I am prepared to fight you. In this way, Krishna challenged the demon, and the demon became very angry by the words of Krishna. Krishna stood before the bull, resting his hand on the shoulder of a friend. The bull proceeded toward Krishna in anger. Digging the earth with his hooves, Arishtasura lifted his tail, and it appeared that clouds were hovering about the tail. His eyes were reddish and moving in anger. Pointing his horns at Krishna, he charged him just like the thunderbolt of Indra. But Krishna immediately caught his horns and tossed him away, just as a gigantic elephant repels a small inimical elephant. Although the demon was perspiring and appeared very tired, he took courage and got up. Again he charged Krishna with great force and anger. While rushing toward Krishna, he breathed very heavily. Krishna again caught his horns and immediately threw him to the ground, breaking his horns. Krishna then began to kick his body just as one squeezes a wet cloth on the ground. Being thus kicked by Krishna, Arishtasura rolled over and began to move his legs violently. Bleeding from mouth and passing stool and urine, his eyes staring from their sockets, he passed to the kingdom of death. So this is how Arishtasura was killed. Krishna just put him on the ground like one does with a piece of cloth. No, one squeezes a wet cloth on the ground. Like that, he put Arishtasura on the ground and he killed him. And of course, he obtained liberation. The demigods in the celestial planets showered flowers on Krishna for his wonderful achievement. Krishna was already the life and soul of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, and after killing this demon in the shape of a bull, he became the cynosure of all ice. With Balaram, he triumphantly entered Vrindavan village, and the inhabitants glorified him and Balaram with great jubilation. When a person performs some wonderful feat, his kinsmen and relatives and friends naturally become jubilant. So he has killed Arishtashura, and now the demigods are showering flowers, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan are glorifying Krishna and Balaram. It was after this incident that the great sage Narada disclosed to Kaṁsa the secret of Krishna. Narada Muni is generally known as Deva Darshana, which means he can be seen only by demigods or persons on the same level with the demigods. But Narada visited Kaṁsa, who was not at all on the level of the demigods, and allowed Kaṁsa to see him. Of course, Kaṁsa also saw Krishna, what to speak of Narada Muni. But unless one sees the Lord or his devotees with purified eyes, one cannot derive the actual benefit. Of course, anyone who associates with a pure devotee derives imperceptible benefit, which is called Agyata Sukriti. One cannot understand how he is making progress, yet he makes progress by seeing the devotee of the Lord. So now Narada Muni has gone to Kaṁsa. It is described in Gopal Champu. Srila Jiva Goswami, he explains that after Arishtasura was killed, for one whole year, Kaṁsa did not send any other demon to Vrindavan. He was so disappointed upon the killing of Arishtasura that Kaṁsa did not send anyone to Vrindavan. So, and Narada Muni, therefore, he says that, okay, 1 year has passed, Kaṁsa has not sent anyone. So now he goes to Kaṁsa. The word Narada is a combination of two words, Nara and Da. Da means to give, and Nara means living entity. So Narada Muni is that personality who gives to the living entity. And what does he give to the living entities? He gives Krishna. He gives love of God, no, to all the living entities. He is very, very merciful. He is far from what he is depicted in the cartoons and in other movies in a comical way. That's not what Narada Muni is. No? That is an incorrect representation of Narada Muni. He is a very, very elevated personality. In fact, he is one of the 12 Mahajans, 12 greatest authorities on the science of God. And he gives Krishna to the living entities. He can travel. He is the celestial spaceman. He can travel all over the universe at his will. No. And therefore, here Narada, he goes to Kaṁsa. Now, why do you think he goes to Kaṁsa? Let us see. Okay, we will see that in the upcoming slides. And what is explained here is Agyata Sukriti. Agyata Sukriti means something a benefit that you get unknowingly. A person does not know that he is getting spiritually benefited, but he is getting spiritually benefited. Just as how somebody, even if an atheist, he takes, just by taking prasad, he is getting spiritually benefited. Sometimes in our programs, there are people who don't want to come for the class, they don't want to come for the kirtan, they don't want to come for the aarti because they don't want the philosophy, but they get attracted to prasad, no, and they think there's not, what is wrong in going and eating, but they don't know that the food is not ordinary food, that food is prasad, so they are getting spiritually benefited, no. So this is called as Agyata Sukriti. They don't know that they are getting benefited, but they are getting benefited. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
there is a hand raised. Hari?
Yeah. One question. So I'm not able to get Kamsa before this itself had a doubt that Krishna is the person who may kill him. That's why he's sending all the demons. So then why Narada is trying to reveal that secret to Kamsa? What is that logic? Is my
Okay, so
am I
why
clear?
Narada does what he does, we will be seeing in the upcoming slides. So just hold
Oh,
on to
okay,
your
okay,
question.
okay.
Yeah, Shailesh?
He has been sending demons all throughout. And why is it that the death of one demon uh, disappoints him so much? Because there have been stronger demons who have been attacking Krishna relentlessly. So what was so special about this one demon that he then stopped for a year?
No, first of all, Arishtasura is a very formidable demon. Of course, the others are also formidable demons. But in the case of Arishtasura, you can say that after sending one after another, after another, after another, and after another, then there it appears that Kamsa has achieved his saturation point. He's kind of thinking that, okay, it's not so important. The thing is, okay, another point here is Kamsa wanted to send Keshi, the horse demon, after Arishtasura. But at that time, Keshi told him, why are you unnecessarily making more enemies? What is the need? So then Kamsa said, all right, Keshi, because you're saying this, all right, you can go back. So I guess it's also because what Keshi told him, and he's also feeling that so many demons have been sent. It's a combination of both these things. And then Kamsa said, okay, for 1 year he took a back seat. He started to relax because he didn't see any immediate danger. So many years have passed. Now Krishna is some 10 years old or so. And for 10 years he's been sending demons. Nothing has happened. And probably he's thinking that there could be so many things that he could be thinking. Probably he's thinking, what is the immediate danger? Krishna doesn't seem to be in a hurry to kill him. It's not confirmed also that Krishna is that particular person. And also Keshi told him, why are you making unnecessary enemies? Unnecessary enemies, because it's not confirmed that Krishna is that particular person. And Krishna is in Vrindavan with his pastimes. So why to make unnecessary enemies? So he sent Keshi back. And then there was no other demon that was sent later. Okay. Narada's mission. So here is
So is it
the answer to your question, Hari. Narada Muni's mission was to finish things quickly. Krishna appeared in order to kill the demons, and Kamsa was the chief among them. Narada wanted to expedite things. Therefore, he immediately approached Kamsa with all the real information. You are to be killed by the eighth son of Vasudev, Narada told Kamsa. That eighth son is Krishna. You were misled by Vasudev into believing that the eighth issue of Vasudev was a daughter. Actually, the daughter was born to Yashoda, the wife of Nanda Maharaj, and Vasudev exchanged his son for the daughter, so you were misled. Krishna is the son of Vasudev, as is Balaram. Being afraid of your atrocious nature, Vasudev has tactfully hidden them in Vrindavan out of your sight. Narada further informed Kamsa, Krishna and Balaram have been living incognito in the care of Nanda Maharaj. All the Asuras, your companions who were sent to Vrindavan to kill different children, were killed by Krishna and Balaram. So here Narada Muni is revealing to Kamsa that you are misled, that Krishna is actually the eighth son. It's not that the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudeva was a girl, no. So he is giving him all the correct information. Why does Narada Muni do this?
No,
As Hari
because
asked, what is the logic? What is
no,
the...
I think he wants to. I feel maybe Narada feels that is a time to move Krishna out of Vrindavan. Maybe because he is little old. I think this when this incident happened, he was 11 to 12. I think long time you told. So maybe that is a reason. Maybe.
See here,
No,
Narada Muni's mission was to
Narada Muni,
finish things quickly. He wants to finish up things quickly because many years have passed now, and he wants to speed up the process of the killing of Kamsa. So he wants to speed things up. That's why Narada Muni does what he does. Yeah, Shailesh?
I just wanted to understand this when the daughter is born and there is a uh, conversation between the daughter, which is Durga, goddess Durga, and Kansa, wherein she says that the eighth son is already born and he is not here, and he is already taken birth and he will be the end of you. So that indication was already given. So why does Kamsa now act surprised or feel betrayed by what uh, Narada is telling him? Because that had already been communicated to him by Goddess Durga, right?
Yeah, Goddess Durga told him that he has already appeared and he is elsewhere, but he doesn't know that he is in Vrindavan. He's under the care of Nanda Maharaj, right? That he doesn't know. And he also doesn't know about how Balaram was moved from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. That information also he did not have. So that information here he's getting from Narada Muni, right? He only knows Durga Devi told him that the eighth child is already born and he's already elsewhere safe. But where is he, under whose care he is, what is his name, and what about Balaram? That and all he does not know, because the seventh child was considered to be a miscarriage. So that information here, that extra information now he is getting from Narada Muni.
But I was asking actually because what is to follow this? Because after this, Kamsa becomes enraged and he wants to then kill Vasudeva and his wife. So that is why I was wondering why, what different means he knows that Vasudeva has exchanged the children, but still, or the child, the eighth child,
No,
but
he
he is
doesn't know that
still
Vasudeva has exchanged the children. That detail he doesn't know, that Vasudeva went out of jail, the guards went to sleep, and Vasudeva himself took the child. He interchanged the kids. All that he does not know. Only he was told that the child is already born elsewhere and he's safe elsewhere. She didn't tell him that it was Vasudeva who has exchanged the kids. That he doesn't know.
Okay.
So he is thinking that the baby girl was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, and the baby girl is saying that the child has already, who has to kill you, has already taken birth and is safe elsewhere. That's all she told him. That the kids were exchanged, that the girl child was born to somebody else, and he has brought the girl child from there. All those details he does not know.
So he basically thinks that the child which was now supposed to be born to Devki is now born to someone else, and that's what Goddess Durga is telling him.
Yes,
Is
yes,
that what his understanding is?
yes, that's what he is thinking, yes. So now the question is, where are Devaki and Vasudeva right now in this story?
In the prison still.
Jail, na?
They had been freed. He
They
had
had been
freed them.
freed.
If I'm
Yes, they had been freed. When?
When the
after
first
after the conversation with Goddess Durga, he had released Vasudeva and Devki.
Correct. So currently they are not in jail. Yes. So what? Let's go back. When Devaki and Vasudev got married and they were going back on that chariot, Kamsa was their chariot driver. There was this voice in the sky that said that Devaki's eighth child will be the one who's going to kill you, right? So that time Kamsa immediately wanted to kill Devaki, and then how did Vasudev convince Kamsa not to kill his sister? What did he tell him?
So I will give all the kids.
I will give all my kids
I will
to you.
bring all my children to I will bring all my children to you soon after birth. So and then Kamsa let them go, right? Let them go. And then when the first child was born, did Vasudev fulfill his promise? Did he take the first child to Kamsa?
yes.
And then what did Kamsa say? What did Kamsa say? Did Kamsa kill
Initially,
the
he
first
said
child?
that it is the eighth child. Initially, he had said that it is the eighth child which will be of danger to me. So
So you take
you
your
take
kid back.
the child.
Yes. So
But
you
then
take your child
afterwards,
back, right? I don't have any danger from this other children of yours. I only want your eighth child. So Kamsa actually let him go. But actually Kamsa ended up killing
Narad Muni,
all the children, I mean the six born children of Devaki and Vasudev. How did that happen then?
Narad Muni intervened and told him that,
Yeah.
that
Narada Muni informed Kamsa that
You don't know which one is the eighth child.
you don't know which one is the eighth child. Actually, all the demigods have already taken birth in these in the dynasty of Krishna, and there can be danger from any one of the children of Devaki and Vasudeva. So then again he imprisons them, And then in the prison house, he kills the first six born children of Devaki and Vasudev. And then the seventh child is transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And Kamsa thinks it's a miscarriage. And then, of course, the eighth child is Krishna, who was switched at birth with goddess Durga, no, who appeared from the womb of Mother Yashoda. And then again, when Kamsa saw Durga Devi, he was so bewildered, he was so frightened that he asks for forgiveness from Devaki and Vasudev, and he releases them from prison. But now again, because Narada Muni goes and tells Kamsa what he tells him, what we just read, now again he is going to do what? We will see in the next slide. As soon as Kamsa got this information from Narada Muni, he took out his sharp sword and prepared to kill Vasudev for his duplicity. But Narada pacified him. You are not to be killed by Vasudev, he said. Why are you so anxious to kill him? Better try to kill Krishna and Balaram. But in order to satisfy his wrath, Kamsa arrested Vasudev and his wife and shackled them in iron chains. Acting on the new information, Kamsa immediately called for the Keshi demon and asked him to go to Vrindavan immediately to kill Balaram and Krishna. In actuality, Kamsa asked Keshi to go to Vrindavan to be killed by Krishna and Balaram and thus get salvation. So now he wanted to kill Vasudev, but again, because of Narada Muni, he did not kill him, but he got him arrested. No, now again he's in the prison house. And Kamsa again calls for Keshi and he tells him to go to Vrindavan and kill Balaram and Krishna. But actually what's going to happen? Of course, Krishna is going to kill Keshi, the horse demon. Then Kamsa called for his expert trainers as well as for the wrestlers Chanur, Mushtik, Shala, Toshala, etc. And he told him, my dear friends, try to hear me attentively. At Nanda Maharaja's place in Vrindavan, there are two brothers, Krishna and Balaram. They are actually two sons of Vasudev. As you know, I have been destined to be killed by Krishna. There is a prophecy to this effect. Now I am requesting you to arrange for a wrestling match. People from different parts of the country will come to see the festival. I will arrange to get those two boys here and you will try to kill them in the wrestling arena. So he is making plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. No, initially he wants Keshi to go, and then if Keshi is not able to kill Krishna, then he's saying we will ask Krishna and Balaram to come here, and he's laying down a trap. No, how will Krishna and Balaram come to Mathura? The trap he's laying is that he wants to arrange for a festival. What is that festival? It's called as a Dhanur Yagya. No? So a bow is arranged on an altar and very decoratively placed, indicating or to symbolize that this is a Dhanur Yagya and there's going to be a wrestling match. No, it's like a sport that is going to be there, and there's a huge arena, and he's going to nicely decorate it and invite a lot of people and create a festive effect. And he wants to invite Krishna and Balaram to this particular festival. So he's laying this trap of the Dhanur Yagya in order to bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. And he's also called for his trainers. Of course, eventually all of them are going to be killed. Then he's making more plans. Wrestling matches are still enjoyed by people in northern India, and it appears from the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam that 5,000 years ago, wrestling was also popular. Kamsa planned to arrange such a wrestling competition and to invite people to visit. He also told the trainers of the elephants, be sure to bring the elephant named Kovalaya Pida and keep him at the gate of the wrestling arena. Try to capture Krishna and Balaram on their arrival and have the elephant kill them. So this is yet another plan. If Krishna escapes from Keshi and he's arriving here, then another possibility of killing Krishna for Kamsa is to have this particular elephant at the entrance of the wrestling area. Kamsa also advised his friends to arrange to worship Lord Shiva by offering animal sacrifices and performing the sacrifice called Dhanur Yagya, and the sacrifice performed on the 14th day of the moon known as Chaturdasi. This date falls 3 days after Ekadasi and it is set aside for the worship of Lord Shiva. One of the plenary portions of Lord Shiva is Kal Bhairav. This form of Lord Shiva is worshipped by demons who offer animals killed before him. The process is still current in India in a place called Vaidyanath Dham, where demons offer animal sacrifices to the deity of Kala Bhairav. Kaṁsa belonged to this demoniac group. He was also an expert diplomat, so he quickly arranged for his demon friends to try to kill Krishna and Balarama. So this is the Dhanur Yagya that we were talking about. So Kal Bhairav is a manifestation of Shiva, a manifestation which is more fierce. No, Kal means time. So it is the manifestation of Lord Shiva as the destroyer. No, because Kal means that which destroys. So it's a very fierce manifestation of Lord Shiva as the destroyer. And Srila Prabhupada explains how even today in this place called Vaidyanath Dham, it is actually in Jharkhand, no? And even today, many hundreds of animals are slaughtered in this Vaidyanath Dham. Vaidyanath is one name of Lord Shiva. What does that name mean? Vaidyanath.
Vaidya means
Doctor,
healing.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one who heals, no? One who heals
Doctor.
is Vaidya. And then Nath means?
God.
Swami and
Nath
all
means the Lord of. So
the
Vaidyanath means the Lord of healing. So why is Lord
mm,
Shiva called as a Lord of healing? Is because when Ravan was worshipping Lord Shiva, Ravan was cutting off each of his 10 heads and offering it to Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva, he healed Ravan from those wounds that he incurred because he was offering each of his heads. No, one after another, after another, after another, he was offering his each of his 10 heads. So Lord Shiva healed him. So therefore he is called as Vaidyanath. That is another name of Lord Shiva. So yeah, Kamsa, because he's demoniac, he wants to arrange for this particular kind of worship. Now, why do we have such temples where animals are slaughtered? Maybe a question that can be asked. So we have to understand that there are people in this material world in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. And because there are people in these different three modes, there is worship also in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. And demons, because they are in the mode of ignorance, their worship also is in the mode of ignorance. And therefore, the Lord, He wants to accommodate all kinds of living entities. He doesn't want to leave anybody out of His circle of mercy. So people who are in the mode of ignorance, they want to do worship in the mode of ignorance. And therefore, we have such temples where such um, practices are still going on. But of course, in Kali Yuga, any kind of animal slaughter is completely prohibited. One will take a lot of strong karmic reaction, especially in this Vaidyanath Dham. Um, Buffaloes and goats are chiefly slaughtered. But in the Kali Yuga, any kind of animal slaughter is completely prohibited because every yuga has its set of rules and regulations. In Kali Yuga, this is not permitted. It is strictly prohibited. Okay, he then called for Akrūra. So as we discussed, Akrūra is a devotee. He is the paternal uncle of Krishna, and he's serving Kamsa now because Kamsa is the king. No, so he's serving Kamsa, and he is there. A lot of devotees, they continue to serve Kamsa even after Ugrasena, because Ugrasena was the king originally, right? And then Ugrasena was imprisoned by his own son Kamsa. But a lot of devotees, they continued to serve even when Kamsa became king and he imprisoned Ugrasena. Why? Because they knew that Krishna will come and kill Kamsa. So they are serving Kamsa and they are waiting for the day when they will have the darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. And that's the reason why they continued, these devotees, they continue to serve Kamsa. They continue to do their duties. Yeah, Shailesh, you have your hand raised?
I just wanted to ask why does Kamsa fear Ugrasena so much? I understand why he is angry with Vasudeva and Devki, but what about Ugrasen? Because I mean, he has usurped all his power, and still he wants to uh, kill him. So, what is the intention there?
Because Ugrasena is the king, no? If you want to become the next king, then you have to get the previous king out of your way. So Ugrasena was the king. Now, so initially that's the reason why Ugrasena was imprisoned by Kamsa. Now, Ugrasena will have his set of loyal followers in the kingdom. There will be his subjects and his ministers and all other people who are serving the kingdom who are loyal and faithful to Ugrasena. So, therefore, if Ugrasena is going to be free, then there may be a revolt against him in favor of Ugrasena. So, he wants to get him out of the way completely. Because he was the king. Remember, Ugrasena was the king before Kamsa. Okay? You're not convinced.
No, I'm good. I'm good. But I thought it is too much even for someone like Kangsa to kill Ugrasen.
Actually, he wants to kill
But then
anybody who's against him. Kamsa now, he's in the mood that he wants to kill all his enemies. Not only Ugrasena, he wants to kill anyone and everyone who's against him right now. That is his mood. Not just Ugrasena. Especially Ugrasena because he was the king previously and he will have many followers. Okay, but now his mood is I want to eliminate all my enemies. That is Kamsa's mood. He then called for Akrūra, one of the descendants in the family of Yadu, in which Krishna was born as the son of Vasudeva. When Akrūra came to see Kamsa, Kamsa very politely shook hands with him and said, "My dear Akrūra, actually I have no better friend than you in the Bhoja and Yadu dynasties. You are the most munificent person. So, as a friend, I am begging charity from you. Actually, I have taken shelter of you exactly as King Indra takes shelter of Lord Vishnu. I request you to go immediately to Vrindavan and find the two boys named Krishna and Balaram. They are the sons of Nanda Maharaj. Take this nice chariot, especially prepared for the boys, and bring them here immediately. That is my request to you." So Kamsa, he's acting as though he's very, very humble because he's also an expert diplomat. He's an expert politician and he knows how to get things done. No, so he's thinking that by glorifying Akrūra, he will get Akrūra to get things done according to what he desires. No, because usually when a person is on a materialistic platform and you glorify that person, then the person feels very happy, very flattered, and he may be willing to do favors for you. But of course, this false flattery doesn't work with devotees. Yeah, Shailesh?
He says here, actually, I have taken shelter of you exactly as King Indra takes shelter of Lord Vishnu. So here he is describing Lord Vishnu, and then he knows that Krishna is a form of Vishnu, and still he is plotting to trying to kill him, even though all his demons have gone there and have failed. So then it becomes a question: why does he do that?
So, what Kamsa is saying here is only to flatter Akrūra. He knows that Akrūra is a devotee. So, he wants to soften his heart, or he wants to show his good side by telling that he's talking about Vishnu and Lord Indra, but actually he's a demon. What he's saying here is not what actually he thinks. He's only saying it because he thinks that will convince Akrūra to go and bring Krishna and Balaram from Vrindavan to Mathura. Yeah, Shreya?
So Akrūra is Kamsa's friend.
He is not his friend. He's serving Kamsa. He is a very, very prominent and senior member of dynasty, of his dynasty, and he continues to serve Kamsa. He was actually working for Ugrasena, but after Kamsa came to power, he continues to do his services there because he knows that eventually Kamsa will be killed by Krishna. So he's waiting that he knows that one day Krishna will arrive in Mathura, and therefore he continues to serve under Kamsa, hoping that one day he will have the darshan of Krishna by remaining there in his service. He is the paternal uncle of Krishna, and he's also the commander in chief of the army.
Okay. Okay, makes sense.
Okay, but he's a devotee. He's a devotee. Although he's serving Kamsa here, he's a devotee.
Yeah, because Ugrasen, he was serving Ugrasen, who was a nice king.
Yes, yes. That's what after Ugrasena was imprisoned, some people left, but there were others who stayed back because they said, okay, we stay back here because we know one day Krishna will come to Mathura and kill Kamsa, so we will have his darshan. So he's one of those people. Okay. Now my plan is to kill these two boys. As soon as they come in the gate, there will be a giant elephant named Kuvalayapida waiting, and possibly he will be able to kill them. So remember, this Kamsa is speaking to Akrūra. But if somehow or other they escape, they will next meet the wrestlers and will be killed by them. That is my plan. And after killing these two boys, I shall kill Vasudeva and Nanda, who are supporters of the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasties. I shall also kill my father Ugrasen and his brother Devaka because they are actually my enemies and are hindrances to my diplomacy and politics. Thus I shall get rid of all my enemies. Jarasandha is my father-in-law and I have a great monkey friend named Vivida. With their help it will be easy to kill all the kings on the surface of the earth who support the demigods. This is my plan. In this way I shall be free from all opposition and it will be very pleasant to rule the world without obstruction. You may know that Shambhara, Narakasura and Banasura are my intimate friends, and when I begin this war against the kings who support the demigods, they will help me considerably. Surely I shall be rid of all my enemies. Please go immediately to Vrindavan and encourage the boys to come here to see the beauty of Mathura and take pleasure in the wrestling competition. So he is revealing to Akrūra the different ways that he is thinking that he is going to kill Krishna and Balaram and then wipe out anybody who's opposed to him. Anybody who is in favor of the demigods, he wants to wipe them off the planet. After hearing this plan of Kamsa's, Akrūra replied, "My dear king, your plan is very excellently made to counteract the hindrances to your diplomatic activities. But you should maintain equilibrium, for the results of your activities may be fruitful or may not be fruitful. After all, man proposes, God disposes. We may make very great plans, but unless we are sanctioned by the supreme authority, they will fail. Everyone in this material world knows that the supernatural power is the ultimate disposer of everything. One may make a very great plan with his fertile brain, but he must know that he will be subjected to the fruits, misery, and happiness. But I have nothing to say against your proposal. As a friend, I shall carry out your order and bring Krishna and Balaram here as you desire." After instructing his friends in various ways, Kamsa retired and Akrūra went back to his home. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 36th chapter of Kṛṣṇa. Kamsa sends Akrūra for Krishna. So, Akrūra, indirectly, he is telling him that yes, you are making great plans, but eventually, what he is telling him indirectly, man proposes, God disposes. So, Krishna is not going to allow the plan of Kamsa to be carried out. Krishna is not going to sanction the plans of Kamsa. So indirectly he's telling him that anyway you are going to be killed, but still I will go. I shall carry out your order and bring Krishna and Balram here. He says as a friend in the sense that he is not actually his friend. He is not desiring that Kamsa's evil plans should be sanctioned, no, but he's saying that in the sense that he's working for him. So he's saying I will do my duty, because Akrūra was a person who was very correct, and he was known for executing his duties correctly, and because he is now rendering service in Mathura, he's saying, okay, as a friend I shall go and I will execute your order. Anyway, Akrūra knows that Kamsa is going to be killed by Krishna. So whenever we spoke about the demons previously, we always saw the past life of the demons. And along with the past life of the demons, what else did we see about the demons? Who remembers?
Basically, we see the
What
anartha of the demons.
qualities they carry?
Anartha we see.
The anarthas, yes, the
Anarthas.
anarthas, no? What is the anartha that each demon represents? So we will be seeing that here. Okay, past life of Arishtasura from the Garga Samhita. Leaving the form of a demon bull, that soul assumed the form of a Brahmana. Bowing before Lord Krishna's lotus feet, he spoke words choked with emotion. The Brahmana said, I am a Brahmana. I am a student of Brihaspati. My name is Varatantu. I approached Brihaspati to study under him. One day I sat with my feet facing him. Angry, the sage said, You sit as a bull sits. You have offended your guru. Fool, now become a bull. O Krishna, by his curse, I became a bull in East Bengal. By associating with demons, I became a demon also. By your mercy, I am now freed from that curse of being a demon. Obeisances to you, Sri Krishna. Obeisances to you, the son of Vasudev. Obeisances to you, Lord Govinda, who destroys the sufferings of the surrendered devotees. Sri Narada said, O king, after speaking these words, the student of Brihaspati bowed down before Lord Krishna. His effulgence filling the worlds with light, he went by heavenly airplane to the higher worlds. So a heavenly airplane came and took this particular soul to the spiritual world, because yes, he did attain liberation. Now, so who was this Arishtasura in the previous lifetime?
He was a Brahmin.
He was a Brahmin, and what is the offense that he committed?
He just
He sat with his
He,
sat
legs.
with,
was
with his
his
feet.
legs were facing the guru.
So he was sitting with his legs pointing towards the Guru. So that is an offense. We should be very careful. When we are in the temple, if we are sitting on the temple floor, we should not point our legs towards the deities, towards, or if, because you have the deities on one side, we have the Murti of Srila Prabhupada on the other side. So we should sit in such a way that we are not pointing our legs towards the deities, towards the Vaishnavas, towards Srila Prabhupada or any exalted person, even towards the Vaishnavas, we should not point our legs, because it is an offense to the deity, to the Vaishnavas. No, so we should be very, very careful. It is actually mentioned in the rules and regulations of offenses, the different kinds of offenses that one may commit. So this is one of the offenses. When we sit, we should be careful how we are sitting. Now let us see the anarthas. Anartha means that which has no artha, that which has no meaning, that which is useless, that which is a impediment or a hindrance to our spiritual life. So what is the anartha that Arishtasura represents? So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in his Krishna Samhita that Arishtasura represents giving up the auspicious rules of Vaidhi Bhakti and enjoying the senses. So if Vaidhi Bhakti means Bhakti which has rules and regulations, like we say Vidhi Vidhan. Vidhi Vidhan means the rules and regulations. So when we when we engage in sadhana bhakti means we have to follow the rules and regulations of devotional service. No, so what does Arishtasura represent? Giving up the auspicious rules of Vaidhi Bhakti and enjoying the senses. Let's read further. Pride arises from indulging in false religions invented by cheaters, which causes neglect of devotional service. Arishtasura has come in the form of a bull, the emblem of dharma, the emblem of compassion, of goodness, and he is coming for the most evil, destructive purpose. The bull demon symbolizes disregard for bhakti and attraction for cheating religion. Weak-hearted, show-bottle devotees are unable to realize rasa. They behave like Arishtasura by cultivating perverted material activities. These unfortunate persons will certainly meet Krishna, not in the form of the affectionate cowherd boy of Raja, but in the form of death. So Arishtasura has come in the form of a bull, and bull belongs to the cow family, no? So he's appearing as though in the form of someone who's very auspicious, religious, sacred, no, in the form of a very sacred personality, but he's coming with the most evil intentions. He wants to kill Krishna. So like that, he represents this word show bottle spiritualism, because he's appearing as something sacred, but he's coming with an evil intention. So show bottle devotees, they appear like devotees, they may be dressed like devotees, they may speak like a devotee, but internally they have evil intentions. So this is what Arishtasura represents. Cheating religion, false religion, not the real religion. It's a show bottle spiritualism. So this is the anartha that Arishtasura represents. Now, one very, very important thing is the killing of Arishtasura led to the creation of the most auspicious place in the whole of creation. In the whole of creation of Lord Brahma, the most auspicious place is Radhakunda. Radhakunda in Vrindavan. If you visit, you must go and visit that place. So how did the killing of Arishtasura lead to the formation or the creation of Radhakunda? We will see that now. See, this is Radhakunda and this is Shyamakunda. The story is here in your Vedaves, in the purport. Can you see the Vedave screen or?
No.
Okay, so I have to share it again.
Why this story is not mentioned in the Krishna book?
Because Krishna book is a commentary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami doesn't go into this particular detail, but Srila Prabhupada gives the detail here in a purport. No, not Prabhupada. This was actually written by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. But anyway, we have the story in our Vedaves. This particular purport was not written by Prabhupada. Okay, from the Puranas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted 20 verses describing a joking conversation between Radha and Krishna that took place after Krishna had killed the demon Arishta. This conversation, so kindly quoted by the Acharya, describes the origin of Radhakunda and Shyamakunda, Radha's and Krishna's bathing ponds. The verses are as follows. So this is actually described in great detail in the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Darshini. If you see that commentary, it's also there. So anyway, it's there in this purport for us as well. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, the innocent young gopis said, "Ah Krishna, don't touch us now, O killer of a bull. Alas, even though Arishta was a terrible demon, still he was a male cow. So you will have to undergo atonement, just as Lord Indra did after killing Vritrasura. But how can you purify yourself without going to the trouble of visiting every single holy place in the three worlds?" So the young gopis now, they are joking with Krishna. They are saying that you are a sinful personality. You have killed a bull. So now you have to atone for your sins. And to atone for the sins, you have to go and bathe in all the holy places. Now let's see. Krishna replied, "Why should I have to wander throughout the entire universe? I will at once bring all the countless pilgrimage places here and take my bath in them. Just watch." With this, Lord Mukunda struck his heel on the ground. Then he said, "This is the water of the Bhogavati river coming from the Patala region. And now, O holy places, all of you please come here." When the Supreme Lord had spoken these words, all the holy places went there and appeared before him. Krishna then addressed the gopis as follows: "See all the holy places." But the gopis replied, "We don't see them as you describe." Then those best of holy places, joining their palms in supplication, spoke up. "I am the salt ocean. I am the ocean of milk. I am the Amara Dirghika. I am the river Sona. I am the Sindhu. I am Tamraparani. I am the holy place of Pushkara. I am the river Saraswati. We are the Godavari, Yamuna and Reva rivers and the confluence of rivers at Prayag. Just see our waters." After purifying himself by bathing, Lord Hari became quite arrogant and said, "I have produced a pond containing all the various holy places, whereas you gopis must never have executed any religious duties on this earth for the pleasure of Lord Brahma." Then Srimati Radharani addressed her girlfriends as follows: "I must create an even more beautiful pond, so go to work." Having heard these words, the gopis saw that Arishtasura's hooves had dug a shallow ditch just west of Sri Krishna's pond. At that nearby spot, all the gopis began digging up lumps of soft mud with their hands, and in this way a divine pond manifested in the short span of an hour. Krishna was astonished to see the lake they produced. He said, "Go ahead, lotus eyed one. You and your companions should fill this pond with water from mine." But Radha replied, "No, no, no, no. This is impossible, since the water of your pond is contaminated by your terrible sin of killing a cow. I will I will have my countless gopi companions bring the pure water of the Manasa Ganga here in billions of pots. In this way I will fill this lake with my own water and thus make it renown unequaled in the entire world." Lord Krishna then gestured to a heavenly personality who was an intimate associate of all the holy places. Suddenly that person rose up out of Krishna's pond and bowed down to the daughter of Sri Vrishabhanu, Radharani. Then with palms joined and tears pouring from his eyes, he began praying to her in devotion. O goddess, even Lord Brahma himself, the knower of all scriptures, cannot understand your glories, nor can Lord Shiva or Lakshmi. Only Krishna, the supreme goal of all human endeavor, can understand them. And thus he feels obliged to personally make sure that you can wash away your perspiration when you are fatigued. This is always anointing your lotus feet with nectarian charu and yavaka and decorating them with ankle bells. And he rejoices and feels most fortunate simply by satisfying the tips of the toes of your lotus feet. On his order, we have immediately come here to live in this most excellent pond, which he created by one stroke of his heel. But only if you now feel satisfied with us and bestow upon us your merciful glance will the tree of our desire bear fruit. Hearing this prayer spoken by the representative of the full assembly of holy places, Sri Radha was pleased and said, "So, kindly tell me your desire." They then told her plainly, "Our lives will be successful if we could come to your pond. That is the benediction we desire." Glancing at our beloved from the corners of her eyes, the daughters of Rishabhanu replied with a smile, "Please come." Her gopi friends all agreed with her decision and became immersed in the ocean of happiness. Indeed, the beauty of all creatures, both mobile and stationary, was enhanced. Thus, gaining the grace of Srimati Radharani, the holy rivers and lakes in Sri Krishna Kunda forcibly broke through its boundary walls and swiftly filled Radha Kunda with their waters. Lord Hari then said, "My dear Radha, may this pond of yours become even more world renowned than mine. I will always come here to bathe and to enjoy my water pastimes. Indeed, this lake is as dear to me as you are." Radha replied, "I will come to bathe in your pond as well, even though you may kill hundreds of Arishta demons here. In the future, anyone who has intense devotion for this lake, which is on the spot where you chastised Arishtasura, and who bathes or resides here, is sure to become very dear to me." That night, Lord Krishna initiated a rasa dance at Radhakunda, generating a torrent of the greatest mood of splendorous pleasure. Sri Krishna resembled a cloud and Srimati Radharani a brilliant flash of lightning, filling the sky with abundant beauty. In this way, their divine glories permeated the expanses of the entire world. As a final note, it should be mentioned that Narada Muni, being a great sage, understood that the killing of Arishta more or less concluded the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Therefore, Narada, anxious to facilitate the transferal of Krishna's pastimes to Mathura, approached Kaṁsa and addressed him as follows. So, see, this is the story of how Radhakunda and Shyamakunda came into our vision, no, in our material vision. So it's described that this is the most auspicious place in the whole of Brahma's creation. So all the holy places, remember, Krishna summoned all the holy places, all the holy rivers to come and reside in his Shyamakunda, and then the same water was transferred to Radhakunda, from Shyamakunda to Radhakunda. So Radhakunda is is non-different from Srimati Radharani. It is the liquid form of Srimati Radharani. So because it is the liquid form of Srimati Radharani, therefore that Radha Kunda is very, very dear to Lord Sri Krishna. And therefore this is a place that one must visit when one goes to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Anyway, this link is there. You can go back and read it again if you like. See here. Because of its wonderful transcendental qualities, Radha Kunda is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radharani. So Radha Kunda is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radharani. It was in that lake that the all-opulent Lord Sri Krishna performed his pastimes with Srimati Radharani with great pleasure and transcendental bliss. Whoever bathes just once in Radha Kunda attains Srimati Radharani's loving attraction for Sri Krishna. Who within this world can describe the glories and sweetness of Sri Radha Kunda? So in that purport we read, I don't know if you remember, if anybody caught it. See here. That night, so Arishtasura is killed, and then Radhakunda and Shyamakunda have been formed, and now that night Lord Krishna initiated a rasa dance at Radhakunda, generating a torrent of the greatest mood of splendorous pleasure. So this particular killing of Arishtasura and the creation of Radhakunda Shyamakunda happened just before Krishna was preparing for a rasa dance. Okay, just before Krishna was preparing for the rasa dance. Now, it's not the rasa dance that we have already read. This is another rasa dance that Krishna had. What rasa dance is this? This is also described in the Garga Samhita. So it is described in the Garga Samhita, chapter 14, that there was a Gopa king called Rangoji, and he was the king of a place called Rangapatna. And this Gopa king did not pay the taxes to Kaṁsa. So, because Kaṁsa is the king, he has to pay taxes. Remember, even Nanda Maharaj went to pay taxes to Mathura. No? So, this particular Gopa king, Rangoji, he did not pay taxes because he got foolish and he was greedy. He did not pay the taxes, nor did he go and visit Kaṁsa also. So Kaṁsa got him captured. He was in jail and there he was tortured. And even after being tortured, he refused to pay because of his greed. And then somehow this Gopa king, he escaped and he came back to his kingdom. But Kaṁsa sent more forces and got him recaptured. No, he didn't get him recaptured. He sent more forces to get him captured, and he was defeated in the battle by the forces of Kaṁsa. I'm sorry. There is something wrong. He got him, no. Okay, again. He refused to pay taxes to Dhritarashtra. Okay, not Kaṁsa. He refused to pay taxes to Dhritarashtra. And then Dhritarashtra got him captured by sending the forces. And then Dhritarashtra's army got this Gopa king defeated. And then this Gopa king sought help from Kaṁsa. So Kaṁsa sent forces to help this Gopa king, and Kaṁsa went with all these demons of his, and Kamsa's army defeated Dhritarashtra's army, and then Kamsa gave a place to stay for this Gopa king on the outskirts of Vrindavan. Okay, and because this Gopa king was staying on the outskirts of Vrindavan, then when he had children, his daughters, they were married, but they believed that Krishna is their paramour. So these gopis who were born to this particular Gopa king called Rangoji, they were also devotees of Krishna, and Krishna had a rasa dance with them in on this particular uh, time called as Chaitra Purnima. Actually, Arishtasura, if you see here, which screen are you all seeing now?
Veda base.
Okay, Veda base. So let's go here. See the timing of the killing of see here. from the purport. According to Sri Vishnu Puran, Arishtasura entered Krishna's village at twilight as the Lord prepared to dance with the gopis. So Arishtasura just came when he was preparing to dance with the gopis. So as we saw in the previous purport also, how after that Krishna enjoyed a rasa dance. So we should not confuse that this is that rasa dance which we have previously seen. Okay, so this is another rasa dance with which Krishna had with the sons of that particular Gopa king Rangoji. See, once midway through the period of dusk, when Lord Janardana was eager to perform the rasa dance, Arishtasura madly entered the cowherd village, terrifying everyone. So, even Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains, as Tarhi then is used in the sentence, the word Yada should also be used. Thus, the meaning is that when Krishna began his Rasa Leela in the evening, then Arishtasura came. The Vishnu Purana confirms that Arishtasura entered Krishna's village at twilight as the Lord prepared to dance with the gopis. Once midday during the period of dusk. So he even gives the timing 8:24 p.m. to 10:48 p.m. This was a time when Janardana was eager to perform the Rasa dansa. Arishtasura madly entered the cowherd village, terrifying everyone. So see, our acharyas, they are also giving us the exact time. Then Jiva Goswami gives us this information. Arishtasura was killed on the full moon day of the month of Chaitra during Krishna's 11th year. So Krishna is in his 11th year when he killed Arishtasura. It was on Chaitra Purnima. So the full moon day of the month of Chaitra. The Rasa dance that we saw in detail in 5 chapters was on which Purnima?
Sharad Purnima.
Sharad Purnima, yes, that was on Sharad Purnima, but this particular was on Chaitra Purnima, so we should not get confused. And another point of confusion for sometimes for devotees is that how can the appearance of Radhakunda and Shyamakunda be on Chaitra Purnima? Because Arishtasura was killed on Chaitra Purnima, and soon after his death, Radhakunda and Shyamakunda appeared, right? And it is also believed that that Radhakunda and Shyamakunda appearance day is on Bahulashtami. Bahulashtami falls on the Ashtami Tithi of the month of Damodar. So how can we have 2 days of 2 dates as the appearance of Radhakunda and Shyamakunda? So the point is that it was on this particular day of Bahulashtami that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rediscovered Radhakunda and Shyamakunda, because during Krishna Leela, Radhakunda, Shyamakunda appeared, but over a period of time, this was 5,000 years ago, over a period of time, it was covered by paddy fields. Okay, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw a small little pond of water in that paddy fields, and because of course he's Krishna himself, he said that this is Radhakunda and Shyamakunda. So like that, that is the day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discovered Radhakunda and Shyamakunda, and therefore that is considered to be the appearance day of Radhakunda and Shyamakunda. We will not read this text now. You can read it when I share the slides in the group. On that note, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Do we have any questions or comments? Okay, so since, yeah, Priyanka?
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam. I have one question, that when Aristotle knew that Akrūra is a devotee, then why did Aristotle, when Kaṁsa knew that Akrūra is the devotee, then why did Kaṁsa reveal the entire plan to Akrūra?
Because demons are less intelligent. Demons are considered to be less intelligent. So he knows that he is my Kaṁsa knows that he is my faithful servant. Akrūra was known for executing his service to perfection. He was known for that. And because he is working for Kaṁsa, he knows that Akrūra will do the needful. And he's telling him why he has to do what he has to do. And as I said, he's less intense in the sense that if one thinks like a devotee, then one will not reveal one will not have evil plans. First of all, a devotee will not have evil plans, and he will not even reveal, because if a devotee has some thoughts which are evil, he may not reveal it the way Kaṁsa says, no, to him, because he is less intelligent. Demons are considered to be less intelligent. They have a lot of physical power, but their intelligence is not so enhanced. Okay, that's
But I thought that at least he knew that he is the devotee, so he will be in favor of protecting Krishna and Balram.
Yeah, he may be in favor of whatever it is, but when it comes to executing the duties, Kamsa knows that he will do the needful, and that's what matters to Kamsa. And also he said na, that I'm giving you this chariot. See, he said that here you have a brand new chariot. Why Kamsa is giving a brand new chariot to Akrūra is the Acharyas describe is because Kamsa is thinking that if I give this brand new chariot to Akrūra, Akrūra will feel like riding that chariot, and therefore he will go and bring Krishna and Balaram. But a devotee does not, it's like somebody's giving you a brand new car and you feel like driving a brand new car, no? So Akrūra is not going to get carried away by these new things. So because Kamsa is less intelligent, he thinks that such things will will encourage Akrūra even more to go and bring that chariot. But the Acharyas explain the reason why the Lord arranged for that new chariot was because for their lordships, Krishna and Balaram, to ride on a chariot that was previously ridden by a demon like Kamsa is not appropriate. So therefore, it was arranged that a brand new chariot is sent. But Kamsa is not thinking like that. Kamsa is thinking that if I give him a brand new chariot, he will feel more encouraged to go and bring Krishna and Balaram. So a demonic thinking is different from the thinking of a devotee.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome. Shreya?
So when Devaki and Vasudev were released, right, in between until they were recaptured, why didn't they go to Vrindavan to see Krishna?
Because again, Kamsa will suspect that, oh, Krishna is probably their son. That's why they are going to meet him. Because Kamsa still doesn't know for sure that it is Krishna and Balaram. No.
Okay.
So they are avoiding, even remember when Nanda Maharaj went to Mathura to pay the taxes, he very secretly met Vasudev, so that there is no suspicion that there is some relation there and something is happening between them.
And then what about, I mean, just out of context, but like what about Subhadra? Where does she come from, or is it?
No, after they are released from prison, then Subhadra appears.
So how does she appear?
Devaki and Vasudev, they had their next child, no?
Okay.
After they are released from prison.
Which is like after the fight?
Yes.
Yeah, after Kamsa is killed.
Okay, after Kamsa is killed, they have.
After Kamsa is killed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shailesh?
I had one question that Ugrasen was Kamsa's father, and still Kamsa didn't trust him. But now he's trusting Akrūra to bring Krishna to Mathura. So why is he trusting him? And not only is he trusting him with bringing them here, but he's also delving to them his entire plan. So when he knows that he cannot trust his father, which is his own blood relative, why is he trusting his courtiers, whom he suspects that they have varied loyalties, which is why he wanted to eliminate his father. So why is he doing that?
Because Kamsa knows that Akrūra is a faithful servant. He will execute his duties to Mathura. He's working for Mathura. He's getting a salary from Mathura, and he's a loyal servant of Mathura. So he knows that he will execute his duties. But Ugrasena will not do that. Ugrasena is not going to serve Kamsa like how Akrūra is serving. Akrūra was known for executing his duties to perfection. And as he's working for Kamsa, it is his duty to carry out the orders of the king. Right? Anybody who's working for the king, he has to carry out the orders of the king. It is his duty. And Akrūra will execute the duty. And Kamsa knows that very well.
But he's not only telling him to execute a duty, but he's also delving out his plan. So that is Because if he is doubtful about his father, he should be doubtful about his courtiers. So then he should not be delving out his plan.
No, because he is not thinking that by my revealing my plan, Akrūra will change loyalties. He's not thinking like that. He is thinking that Akrūra will always stick by what is good for Mathura, according to Kaṁsa.
Because one would think
There is some
that
background sound in your mic.
yeah, one would think that if Ugrasen is going to be killed and he's openly discussing that matter with Akrūra, so that should create conflicts.
No, Kaṁsa is not thinking that Akrūra is going to oppose him or create any conflicts in the kingdom. He knows that he is a loyal and faithful servitor of the kingdom of Mathura. He knows that. But not Ugrasena. Ugrasena can cause, he can create, because he can get his, see, Ugrasena, an ex-king. See, when you overthrow an ex-king and put him in jail and then you release him, is he going to remain quiet? No, he's going to start to gather followers and revolt against the current king. So that's why he has put Ugrasena in prison. But that's not the case with Akrūra. Akrūra served Ugrasena and he continues to serve the throne of Mathura even under the leadership of Kaṁsa. And he always perfectly executed whatever services is required of him, he did it. So Kaṁsa has no doubts that Akrūra is going to shift loyalties. But of course, Akrūra knows that Krishna will kill Kaṁsa. Kaṁsa has no doubt that Akrūra will shift loyalties. He knows that he is loyal to Mathura. He will execute whatever has to be done. Whatever is expected of a servant in the kingdom, he will do it. Lavina?
What was the age of Krishna at this time? Means when
Yeah, we saw here,
Akrūra.
no? We saw in the
11 years.
Oh, okay.
What does he write here? I
Thank
want
you.
to get the... Yeah, it was during Krishna's 11th year. So he has completed 10 years and he has entered his 11th year.
Okay.
Jiva
Thank
Goswami
you.
writes that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? No exam today? So see you all next week if Krishna so sanctions. Till then, have a nice week in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare
Dhamma.
Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Why
Krishna.
am I not able to leave?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.